Right, please ignore the hair because I'm blow drying my hair at the moment, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how to blow my fringe straight because I did one with the Hollywood wave the other day and people have asked me to do it straight, so I'm going to do that after this. So before I put any makeup on today, this is me. You can see that I've got, you know, pigmentation marks up here, some around here, definitely there. So I am using some creams that I've been sent at the moment. I'm using a combination, okay? So I'm never really going to know which one it is that actually does it. But I'm using the Kiehl's Powerful Strength Line Reducing Dark Circle Vitamin E Eye Serum. Okay, and I'm going to put some of that on right now because I'm going to just do a recap on the tutorial that Kay and I did last night about concealer, where to place your concealer. Okay, so I'm putting on an eye cream straight away to hydrate that skin under my eye, because the last thing you want is dryness under your eyes when you're putting concealer on. It'll just go really, really cakey. The other product I'm using for my pigmentation is the Sunday Riley Vitamin A High Dose Retinoid. Okay, so I'm using this with a combination of the vitamin C and turmeric face oil and the glycolic acid. I think I've said that wrong. So I'm using those three as well. And I'm using the Kiehl's dark colour, clearly corrective dark spot solution. So I shall tell you, I think it's going to take some time, probably, 3 months, 6 months, whether or not these all go down. We shall see. And whether Kay Adams loses her rather large age spots or sunspots on her cheek. She's got the same product, so I'm keep telling her to use them. Anyway, if you're putting concealer on, so you can see with me, I've got kind of a yellowy eyelids and a tiny bit dark in here. I don't normally wear concealer. I just bung on more foundation or tinted moisturiser. But if you're going to wear concealer, this is the way to do it, okay? So I'll do 2 different combos. If you've got really dark circles and you need to colour correct, I'll do it on this eye, and this eye I'll do it as I would, okay, if I was going out. And I don't need to colour correct because I'm not super dark, but I might want to add just a little bit of concealer. Okay, so the first thing is always to moisturise underneath your eye, just to hydrate the eye, okay? But you want to make sure there's not too much moisturiser. It's getting the levels right. So use a tissue afterwards just to tap that area, take off any moisture, because you don't want the concealer or the colour corrector to slip, yeah, and it will just fade off really quickly. If you're going to colour corrector, I would suggest using a peachy tone. This one is from Sainsbury's and it's called Boutique, and I think it was about £4. Everyone gets confused with colour correctors, okay? For example, if you've got super red cheeks or redness, then you'd want to use a green colour corrector. But you want to really limit it to just the area, because it can leave a tinge of green under your foundation and you'll look a little bit like Shrek, and that's not a good look. So don't be spreading it all around. Literally dab it on the area only, okay? But if you're grey or bluey, then you want to use a peach concealer. So I know I'm not super dark under here, but I'm just going to show you. It's always good to do it in a bit here because everyone's a bit dark in there, aren't they? And I'm going to put a little bit of that on my eyelid as well. Okay. Now this eye, I would just use moisturiser. Then I would just put on my makeup as normal before I do the concealer, okay? Concealer comes last. Right, so I let that just dry for a minute. And then I use my Donna May makeup brushes and I just tap that in. Okay, just tapping it in. I'm not wiping it in because it just wipes it off. Okay, I'm just tapping it in. Now, the darker you are, skin tone, the peachier you need to go. If you're super dark, you'd use like nearly a red concealer, which I know looks really shocking, but it really does counteract the darkness. Okay, so you can see already that's colour corrected. Now I don't normally wear colour corrector. Maybe I should start using it because I see a big difference there. But I'm just going to show you what I would normally do. So now put on your foundation. I'm just going to use my Luminate in dark. There's a sale on this on Amazon at the moment for 12 quid. It's normally 27, so get on there. But I think it's only in the dark colour. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on. So you've moisturised your eyes. You've colour corrected if you need to. But if you don't, just carry on with your foundation. Just going to use my fingers here. So now I'm just going to put on my foundation as normal over my moisturised eye. This is a lovely foundation, this one. It's very glowy. And I use dark because it just gives me that little bit of a tan. Always go over my lips. Always remember to foundation your eyelids. Kay last night was saying that she's finding that her eyeshadow is kind of going into patches in her eyelid. And I said, well, do you put your foundation on your eyelids to prime them? And she said she doesn't, so that would be why. Right, so I've just gone over that area quite gently. As my fingers rubbed over that, they sort of lifted off. Okay. Right, so then you put your foundation on, okay? Tap, tap, tappy. Right. Oh, I'm just going to use that bit up because I don't want it to go to waste. Foundation is expensive. Don't want to waste any of it. I'll bronze it. I'll just do that there. But I'll bronze my neck up later. Okay. God, look at my bloody roots coming through again. Okay, so now you would use your concealer on top of that, okay? I have got 100 concealers here. Look at them all. I'm going to use, let's use the number 7 Lift Luminate today. I've got so many, I never know what I want to use. Okay, so now you would use your concealer over your foundation. If you do it the other way around, you're just going to wipe all of your concealer off. So now I'm just going to go in. This is the eye that hasn't got anything on at the moment. And do those dark areas there. Don't put it all over your whole eyelid if you don't, under eye if you don't need to. It will just cake in those little creases under there. Just put it where you need it. Any darkness, okay? And the same on the other eye. So this one's not as dark because I've already colour corrected it, but I'm just going to add a bit more. A little bit over there. Some down there. Okay, now my foundation's kind of covered my pigmentation, so I don't really add any concealer up there. Okay, so then I let that dry for a second. So what was the saying? Last night we thought of a funny saying. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Pause. No, what was it? Pause, pat and tap. I can't remember. No, I've forgotten what it is. Right, so you've let that dry for a second, okay? So you can get on with something else, you know, do your eyebrows or something. Now you're just gonna tap that into place. So I start with a brush, but then I go in with my finger because the warmth of your finger just blends it into the skin more. So I'm kind of tapping and rolling, yeah? Look up, make sure it's flattened all around those creases. Okay? Same any darkness around your nose. Okay? Oh, I can hear my boys meant to be homeschooling. I can hear them larking around. Boys! They're not sorry. They think Mum's out of the room. Mum's out of the room. We can do what we want. Okay, let's tap that in. Tap and roll. Tap and roll. You need to take time over your concealer if you choose to wear concealer, because it's the one thing that if you cock it up, it's going to really age you. You don't want it to sit in any unnecessary lines. Okay. Take it onto your eyelids, remember. So this one has been colour corrected and this one hasn't. And in fact, I think this one looks a lot better. So I think I need to start using colour corrector. Isn't that funny? I've never used it before. Didn't think I needed it, but never too old to learn, hey? Learn new tricks. So anyway, that's how you use it. Then what you want to do is you want to set that, okay? So I'm using blotting sheets. You can get these, most makeup companies do these now. Bobbi Brown have got some. These are DHC. Or you can use a super light powder. Translucent, really, really light, tiny little waft of it, right? Not much at all. Or you just use these and this just takes off any excess oil. Okay, without putting too much, well, without putting any powder on. Okay, you can see on that sheet, just takes any excess oil off. So we just blot that in. It settles the concealer as well. And there's no you know, there's no qualms about it. You do have to touch up your concealer during the day. It will sit in some creases. You can do your best to manage that, but it is one of those things, a bit like your lippy, you pretty much need to top your lippy up, you know, once a day. But I hope that helps. Now, I was using an illuminating concealer. I don't like ones that are too highlighting, because it just, you know, makes your eyes glary. And you shouldn't use that concealer on a blemish, okay? If you've got a blemish, you need a matte concealer, something more like, let me show you, well, basically with no illumination in. So something like, you know, a more solid concealer like these. This is my Contour Cosmetics palette. You need something matte that's not going to draw light to the blemish. I will do a tutorial on acne and blemish concealer next time, but I just wanted to recap what Kay and I did last night, because it was quite good and people had loads of questions, and I'm happy to answer any, so just, you know, ask me. But yeah, so that one was the peach colour corrector. Is called Boutique, and it was from Sainsbury's. I used the number 7 Lift Illuminate Serum Concealer, and that is in medium. Another great one is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance. Really like that. Last night we used the Jane Iredale Enlighten Plus Under Eye Concealer. That was really nice, and I used number 1. One of my all-time faves is my Bare Skin by Bare Minerals, but I think they're changing the name of that, so check that one out. And another great one is the Maybelline Eraser. Love that one. It's got a little sponge on the head. So anyway, hope that helps. Yeah, put any questions down below and I will happily answer them. See you later.